Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zach.
I'm Shane.
And we are back with Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Season 5, Episode 19. Wherever it's at chronologically, someone's going to put the number somewhere. Do you remember what happened last time?
It was one of those ones that stuck clearly with me since I watched it last. And it was because we were having issues with the version that I gave the editor and the actual versions we watched. I chose not to put the high definition version on there. But it turns out there was no difference. It'd be the perfect episode to watch in high definition because like they're shooting at Ahsoka and she's doing all those flips. And
it was great.
Yeah, the music was there, and they had a reference to just one of my favorite 90s movies, The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah.
They had episode 4 reference with Tarkin and Leia with the chin thing.
Also, you mentioned prior to recording when they're entering the interrogation with the cell.
Yeah.
With that droid.
Yeah, I think the droid.
I remember hearing it for some reason.
Well,
Maybe
I know
I'm wrong.
Vader's in there, and then the droid comes behind him.
In A New Hope.
Yeah.
And it shows it going. Wah, wah, wah,
yeah, and he's like.
And then the door
Looking at her.
I didn't realize it was her screaming until later in life.
Yeah, me too. I didn't.
Because the doors, when they hiss and shit,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And then it says screaming at the
subtitles. Yeah.
It wasn't until the advent of the subtitle that.
Well,
advent, but.
What was it? I can't remember. The Mandalorian did a good job making this more imposing, but that was actually the Sentinel droid, the probe from Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the torture droid. No, but it was like the same shot Vader uses to enter, and it was like, just angled the same way. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's kind of a big episode because they're blaming Ahsoka. Ahsoka's on the run. She doesn't believe she's getting a fair shake. So, what would you do? Would you?
I don't think I'd submit to it, judging by the circumstances.
It's one of those things to where, like, if you knew you didn't commit a crime.
When she was raised, she was also taught by someone that knows better.
Yeah.
The circumstances.
I think Anakin taught her so much of the right things.
She was around him and was influenced by him and his behavior. No matter what he said,
yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I think genuinely he taught her most of the right things on how to act and how to think, despite his personal life, being a mess. Mm-hmm. I think he was a pretty good master to her. And we know later on she becomes I won't say it. I mean, I know she lives.
She's more or less like a rogue Jedi.
She's kind of like a rogue Jedi.
She's not a dark Jedi by any means.
No.
She's like a rogue.
She's like a rogue who fights seemingly on the side of light. But I mean, I know she's in Rebels. Yeah. Unfortunately, because it's such a huge surprise for me. And we'll go through that. But I think when they present her, they're kind of like leaving you guessing what her
motives are.
Well, I mean, she's a good guy, but it's almost like she is. I guess you just don't know until much later on.
That she's a good guy.
Yeah.
Her motive.
Yeah, but I don't think you think she's evil. I think you just think okay, what's she doing here? Like, oh wow, the Ahsoka I know wouldn't have said that kind of thing. Is she bad now? Like, she's not bad, but she's not like a proud Jedi. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Her and Obi-Wan would probably have a lot of disagreements at that point in their lives. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, she's on the run, and I think it also gives kind of insight to maybe Anakin a little bit with how he's feeling Revenge of the Sith, because we already know that they're after her and they don't trust her, and it seems like he's got a kind of a problem with that. And if I were him, I'd feel the same way. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'd kill a bunch of children, but I'd feel the same way.
Yeah, I saw this funny meme. It was fucking Palpatine talking to him on the phone, but you only see Palpatine in his office. Mm-hmm. And he's basically going like, "Hey, I just found out, with these younglings, maybe we can use them." You did what?
Like you already went and did it?
Yeah.
Have you seen those ones of they're using Anakin, the fact that he kills kids, and it's like, I can't think of a good one right now, but there's a lot of funny memes about that, and they're shipping.
Those and the great one with him and Padme in the field. There's always great ones with that.
Yeah, and it's always like,
right?
I could take 4 clone troopers at once.
Yeah.
You mean in a fight, right?
And it just shows her smiling. He's in a fight, right?
Yeah, it's good stuff. Anyways, guys, if you want to support us, all you got to do is leave a comment down below. You can also watch the full-length and cut reactions to all the things that we do. And we also have the next 4 weeks on there if you don't want to wait. And, these are mighty good episodes. So maybe check it out if you're on the fence. Anyways, guys, my parents' water. We're going to jump in.
It's a mouthful, but yeah, it makes sense.
Can you imagine it being on I don't know, it's a mouthful. Dave Filoni.
There can be little doubt that the clone officers murdered in the escape were killed by none other than Ahsoka Tano herself. She used a Jedi mind trick to convince the clone to open the door, and then proceeded to cut him down along with 5 other clones along the way.
I do not believe that Ahsoka could have fallen so far.
The beliefs of the Jedi Council are irrelevant. We deal strictly in facts and evidence.
you're dealing with people that can control shit with their mind. I'm sorry, but facts and evidence are a little out the window.
The only thing to say is the Jedi, they guard their secrets so much, like...
Skywalker, was there no way to stop your Padawan before she escaped?
No, Master Mundi. The Council believes that Ahsoka may be guilty of the crime. Still believe they are wrong, do you?
I believe she didn't kill the clone troopers or the woman who used the nanodroids to blow up the temple. That's why she's running. To prove her innocence.
2 teams, we will send. Master Skywalker and Master Plo Koon. With clones, you will go.
I think it would be best if Skywalker stayed here. Having you involved may actually make things worse.
Master Windu, with all due respect, she is my Padawan.
The reason for you not to go.
I think we're being foolish if we take Anakin off this mission. Who knows her better?
He's emotionally tied to her.
Although he was right in Revenge of the Sith, he told Anakin to stay there because of his emotions.
Find out the truth.
Go swiftly then, Skywalker, and bring back this lost child before it is too late.
Yes, Master.
Mate. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
What's that from again?
Pulp Fiction.
George put a lot of thought into like this underworld.
Just came in. Looks like the Jedi are after one of their own. She's armed and dangerous. Alert all units.
So we're also having...
You heard him.
The police are not just droids here. They're people.
Right.
Yeah.
She's still a fucking robe on. She's very colorful.
Barris, it's Ahsoka. Ahsoka, I'm so glad you're safe. Safe,
Nice for real.
but on the run. I can't tell you, but someone is definitely trying to frame me.
It's not safe for you to call me using the Jedi communicator. Find another way to contact me.
In the meantime, I'll do some digging and see if I can find anything out to help you on my end.
It's one of those guys, assassins to activate.
Are you hungry?
John Wick.
What do you want?
Your cloak.
You guys gotta stink.
It smells like rum.
It's like Batman Begins.
It's a nice coat.
Yeah. So this is stuff, honestly, like, I know we've seen it, or you've seen it, but up until this point, fans didn't really get this underworld, except in, like, Attack of the Clones, and then one other time. Also, the subway train, just to show the extensiveness, kind of...
How vast
Yeah.
the underworld is.
They look like
You
hell
don't need
gas.
to see identification.
Yeah, I think
We don't need to see his.
that'd be easy for her to do here.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
You know,
God damn it.
that poor thing. She's probably going to a concert, playing a show.
You just grabbed his face.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
I didn't get a good look at it. Yeah.
It was in one of the other episodes. The Slugman.
Might be the same species as that thing that was on
Help 'em
Savage,
all.
on Savage's planet. Yeah, that was Help 'em All.
It was in the pod race.
Yeah, and
He's
he
in
died.
the plant.
You know, there's this all these cutscenes of him talking to his family, all these little
Little
kids.
man, yeah.
That's terrible.
Not good.
That's a faulty manufacturer
Don't worry, guy.
design.
Maybe I can cut a hole in the roof. Guess I'm not exactly on my game these days.
Nah, I don't think it's the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, kid. I owe you one.
These are
TIE fighter style.
yeah, these are slightly different design. Yeah,
Spotted Commander Tano heading to level 1312.
1312 instead of 1313. Are called two cats or tuas? They're supposed to be cats with a Miyazaki influence. Which, you get a good look at it. They're actually a very big part of the next show.
Well, well, the Senate has put a bounty on your horned little head.
What do you think they would want?
And I'm going to be the one who collects.
Ventress, it was you! You were behind all of this, and you framed me!
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what are you now? A bounty hunter?
Yes, and someone who knows how to make easy money.
Her voice sounded like Leia's with the bounty hunter outfit on.
Oh, it did, yeah.
You're a separatist war criminal and a Sith. They'll have us both in prison before you said your name.
I don't have to hand you over to the Jedi. I'm gonna get my money whether you're dead or alive.
Good luck.
Okay, well.
Despite what you hear,
There we go.
I'm still a Jedi.
I'm afraid the other Jedi no longer see it that way.
I hate to admit it, but you're right. That's why I'm going to need your help.
In what star system do you think I would ever help you?
A traitorous Jedi tried to blow up the Jedi Temple and has framed me for that and other killings.
So the Jedi aren't that holy after all.
I've fallen from my path just as you've fallen from yours. We have a lot more in common than you think.
What can you offer me that's better than money?
I'll speak to the council and the
It's like
Senate
a
on your
proverb
behalf.
of Auto.
Yeah.
I'll get you a full pardon.
But I'm going to go where the tide flows. If the tide is flowing against you, don't think I'll forget about the bounty on your head.
Fair enough.
I'm glad they acknowledge that she just can't, like, oh, she's not a Sith anymore, she's fine. She's still a war criminal. Because I actually did not remember. I'm fighting fucking Vader and Jedi Survivor. He kills you in like 2 hits. It's ridiculous. I mean, how it should be, but like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ventress.
That's gotta be.
Send out the probes. I want them found now.
Yeah, there's like TIE fighter wings.
Oh, yeah.
Adding another criminal act to your record?
I don't want them to be able to trace it.
That's that too.
Barris, it's me.
Where are you?
I can't say, Barris.
I believe I found a clue. We don't have much time, Ahsoka.
That's like Huttese. But it's not.
Got it. 3 levels up, there seems to be an abandoned warehouse where they used to build munitions that Letta visited during the time she was getting access to the nanodroids.
How did you find this out?
I told you I would do some checking.
Oh, thank you, Barris.
Well,
I think I have a lead.
it doesn't seem like you need my help.
That's not true. We need to find an abandoned munitions warehouse on level 1315. We should be able to find some information there. You know the place I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I can get you there.
All the clones.
Listen to me. I don't want to fight.
I do.
We're taking you in now, Commander.
That's not gonna happen. Trust me. Now, I'm not going to hurt any of you. We're not going to hurt any of you. But you're not taking me in.
Commander, we are taking you in.
Let's play.
Ventress, don't!
Look out!
I don't know. Kind of looks like a hurting him to me.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
See? Didn't kill one.
That's a big step for her.
It's the new me.
We had Commander Tano, but she escaped with the help of the Sergeant Ventress.
Just ain't looking good.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
That's where you're supposed to find this clue. I've done my part of the bargain, which means you're on your own from here. But don't forget, you have to speak on my behalf now. That was the deal.
Agreed. I have to admit, I never saw us doing anything together.
These are strange times.
I'm trying to think if she personally killed anyone that Ahsoka was like really close with. I mean, she had to have. Like, I mean, not anyone, like, definitely a ton of clones.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get past that.
I thought we decided we were going to part ways.
I feel like something else is going to happen. It wouldn't just be a scene with her in an alley and a cat. she's conscious. I feel like she'd be much more capable under the circumstances, especially if this is who I think it is. She's not fighting with us, Alice.
No, she's not.
Ventress! I see you've had a change of heart.
She's changed her clothes and come and attack you?
Everything else is similar, but obviously different pants.
Nothing similar about it at all.
Why bring me here?
Cloak and the mask.
She didn't have a cloak on.
I thought she did. She just took it down.
No, she just showed her walking. She just had the top. The sleeveless top thing. Fucking Donkey Kong. Pretty cool table.
Yeah, I always like industrial, maybe kind of like Bespin.
I just meant the way they're fighting. But yeah, the woods and barren places are kind of overdone.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
Yeah, like when it comes to fan films, it's like all we got. Like moving like that. Fucking I'm sick. The thumbnail right there. Or that.
Balls. He's like a fight with the comedian and fucking Ozymandias. He's just getting his ass handed to him the whole time.
Nanodroids? No! Wolf, let me explain.
Explosives. These are the same types of nanodroids that were used to blow up the Jedi Temple.
It's kind of horseshit.
Captured she has been?
Yes, Master Yoda. She was subdued by the clones and found in possession of explosive nano.
The same fucking place.
It still doesn't explain Ventress's involvement. We saw her with Ahsoka.
I think there's more going on than we know. We're bringing her back to the temple.
Anakin mentioning that doesn't really help her case. That he saw her with Ventress.
As long as they're saying that the plot's a lot bigger than they're just saying.
And to me, it makes it look like they teamed up.
Yeah. They're also seeing bird's eye view.
I like that little end though. Guys, that was Zach's reaction. My rewatch.
Yeah.
All right, so To Catch a Jedi.
That was really good. This is one of my favorite arcs so far.
Yeah, it's great.
In terms of the tone and the quality of animation having gone up and the
Yeah.
fights. I think that might have been one of my favorite fights that I've seen so far.
It was really good. Yeah.
The style with, I'm assuming Barriss, I don't know, but I'm assuming Barriss doing the flips and shit around.
It wasn't Ventress, so not that point.
No, it wasn't Ventress.
No.
But the way she was flipping around and the style was really good.
I don't know what it is. I love good back and forths, but when there is a dominant fighter, for some reason, like if you can choreograph that well, I think sometimes it's the most interesting stuff.
Well, it is because it was a slow grade. It wasn't just her getting her total ass whipping the whole time, but she was definitely on the losing side.
Yeah, I've always and also maybe it's because of the first Ninja Turtles movies influence on me. Mm-hmm. Like that fight with Shredder. I mean, I'm biased. That's like my top 5 favorite movies. But I thought that fight was great, and like because Shredder was so dominant, it like contributed to the emotion and the story of the fight.
Well, one great thing too is he even admits that the three of you could have overpowered me.
Yeah.
With his loss, but they were all fighting him one-on-one. So
yeah.
They couldn't take him one-on-one. None of them could, but he, the fact that he could admit that.
Yeah.
It adds some levity.
Yeah, that and like Vader, Luke got some good hits in there, but Vader versus Luke on Bespin. Mm-hmm. If you watch episode 1 and 3, like in 2 to a degree, like the trained eye, like they've always had like, all right, this person is more dominant, so they'll have someone giving ground, they'll have them constantly defending themselves.
I mean, you had Dooku and Anakin wasn't much of a match. I mean, but you didn't really get a lot out of it because of the way they chose to film it.
Yeah.
And showcase it, but he wasn't.
Not at that point.
No.
It took that point and him saying that to push Anakin over the edge. Because, up until then, they've had 2 or 3 fights, and Duke has always been better.
I was talking about Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't do the best job, at least to me, like the way it was shot, kind of up close.
It was not as bad as the Sidious fight with the Jedi that came to apprehend him.
No.
But it was just, it was dumb how they chose to film it. It's just they showing their faces in the flash of the lights.
The red and blue. I think...
I get what they're trying to do, but I wanted a good lightsaber duel.
That's what I wanted.
The end of the film should end with something.
Because you watch episode 1, and it's like, you know, I want that or better. You know
yeah, let's set the bar.
Do you think Tarkin was a little out of hand? Because I know you kind of said something during a reaction, like you're talking about these people with superpowers.
Yeah, we only deal with this and evidence and facts and evidence. And it's like, I get that, but I mean, man, you're dealing with a bunch of wizards and witches, and they're fucking.
I agree with you.
Doing their hoodoo magic over here, and you're saying facts and evidence. I mean, they could brainwash people with Jedi mind tricks. He even admits it when he says it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna slap that shit together and say it had to have been her. She did Jedi mind trick. You just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but when you go back to his episodes, he doesn't have a lot of respect for the Order or for them. Or
no, he doesn't, and I understand that from the character.
So do you think he's getting a little personal?
I think it seems like he's growing.
It's weird.
His stature in the military.
He is. Yeah.
And he's exerting that.
It's weird because we know he respects Anakin at this point in his life. And
he also recognizes him as being different than the rest of the Order, though.
Yeah, but like you figured he'd be like maybe not one to strike at this guy. I respect him. I've worked with him before, like at his Padawan. Mm-hmm. But also back to like the wizards thing. The Jedi's secrets and the ability to control minds is like a very closely guarded secret to the Jedi. So in his world, you know, like just dealing with facts and evidence, it still kind of looks that way.
No, I understand that. I mean, I'm just saying
he might not have a lot of good examples of mind tricks or even.
My point is that he can't just strictly say, "Oh, there's facts and evidence here."
Yeah.
I'm not here, not dealing with these people.
No, you're right.
There's only so far you can go with the facts and evidence, and after that, it's up to them to weigh the facts and evidence because
I think they
have a better understanding of what that can represent.
I think there's a lot to be said about the Jedi handling this internally because they understand her and that whole situation better.
Well, they were wrong about Dooku, so they had to kind of second guess a lot of shit after that.
Yeah, and I know you know that they're
Attack of the Clones. It's not his character. And then turns out.
Then after that, Mace is like, well, Anakin, you better stay here. It was wrong before.
Yeah, I've been wrong before. And
yeah, so we have a semi-consistent behavior with Mace Windu and Anakin here. Mm-hmm. Mace is right about Anakin in a lot of ways, but he also probably doesn't help when it comes to Anakin kind of going down this path of destruction that we know he's going to go down. I'm sure if he felt like he could trust Mace and had a good relationship with him, like he does with Obi-Wan, then, you know, that whole thing could have been different.
Oh, yeah.
And like everyone in the Order knows that Mace was like the big roadblock into Anakin not getting trained.
Yeah.
He just thought he was too old. I mean, he was kind of right, but he was also, you know, I don't know who's right.
Yeah.
Because we all know there was a plan. There is a deterministic factor when it comes to Anakin doing what he did and him being the chosen one.
Yeah, that's set in stone.
Yeah. So do you think if this came out in the 1970s, do you think this did two things that, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, well, okay, for instance, when she went to the payphone, she was like, oh, I'm making sure they can't trace me. Because in my head, with everything I know about the world now, I would say, well, couldn't they trace you? Like in China, every time you go to a payphone or an ATM or anything at all, you're being filmed.
Yeah.
And, you know, but this is technology from the 1970s. So, but I think they kind of settled in the middle. Yeah, I mean, they said, oh, I just want to make sure I don't get traced.
Yeah.
Like you're not constantly being recorded. Because we know that little probe, nowadays, that thing would be feeding live to something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like it gets something and then it has to send it.
Well, it's one big police state.
Yeah. But do you think in the 1970s, George would have wrote that in there? I want to make sure we can't get traced.
Probably not.
Probably not, no. But I'm glad they did here because, like, with what I know about sci-fi now, even though I know this is based off the 70s, sometimes I'm always like...
But they had, it's the thing, is they had security cameras in the Death Star, but they only had them in the detention block.
Why wouldn't they have them in every hallway?
Yeah, I mean, is it limited funds? I mean, this fucking thing is the size of a moon. And
you're like slave labor.
Yeah, and it's like, what?
Guns are endless, baby.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, we got to cut those costs. We don't need to see what everyone's doing down these fucking hallways.
Yeah, so...
they have droids everywhere. If this is the modern times, those droids would all be getting feedback back, you know.
Yeah, they would.
Security footage and shit back to everybody else, too.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they break the rules to convenience a plot. Like, if they need something, they'll go, oh, this was recorded by this droid. I'm thinking, well, does our droid record all the time?
Yeah.
I like that they wrote that in there.
Mouse droids, man. Mouse droids should have something on recording people.
You figure they would.
They're driving around everywhere.
They just do little maintenance. It's kind of funny. I like that they put that line in there, but, you know, it's because a modern audience would probably wonder about that. And it's not like bending the technology too much, I don't think.
I mean, I have to wonder if they only put it in there just so the Adventures could have the line about, you know, well, adding another
yeah. They give them more back and forth.
They already addressed that. Okay, you need to find a better way to communicate other than the Jedi communicator.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah. Are you surprised that Ventress can change this much?
I mean, not really, because
no, am I?
It's the circumstances.
I like this so much. I'm trying to find things to challenge.
They already gave her some kind of some points when she was teamed up with Boba.
Yeah.
And some of the things she did then.
Yeah, like she
already saw
child sex slavery.
So you already saw some light in her.
Yeah.
So it's not really too.
We also know her history. Like I think she just wanted to be accepted. You know what I mean? She wanted to find a place, and she keeps getting batted around. Like the Sith, she committed everything, and they rejected her. I mean, it's kind of Palpatine. Like said, kill her, get rid of her. And Dooku, I mean, he can't do anything because he'll be killed.
Yeah.
But would he be killed? Because he might be thinking like, you need me to keep control of the Confederacy. I don't know.
Yeah, Dooku could have played his hand differently.
I think at that point,
because if the whole game is deception, I mean, Dooku's problem probably ultimately was always his sense of honor, and
like he believed the Republic was wrong, so I'm going to go to this path and I'll do whatever I need to do because in 10 years,
but at the same time, he held on to some kind of sense of honor.
Yeah, he wasn't
in terms
like
of how he handled circumstances and situations.
Yeah, and Luthen is definitely not the same thing as Dooku because I don't think he would do. I don't know if he'd bomb a hospital of children.
Yeah.
But I think Luthen knew that if I do this and just fuck over my soul, then in 10 years maybe the whole galaxy will be better.
Yeah.
So, but it's the opposite. Dooku's like if I just fuck my soul, then maybe 10 years the galaxy will be more of an empire.
Yeah.
But he thinks it's probably gonna be a good empire.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It absolutely could not possibly look that way, judging by everything he's doing and what he knows Palpatine's doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Star Wars, they kind of give you in the canon like the dark side does twist you. Like it does twist your morals. It doesn't just like you become bad and now you're part of the club and now you gotta do what we say. It's you start to empathize with with the logic of the Sith and the logic of
it corrupts you.
Yeah, literally, that's the word, corrupts you. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I agree. I loved it too. These last few episodes are,
I'm looking forward to the culmination.
Me too, guys. If you don't want to wait till next week, you don't have to. It's on Patreon right now. The next 4 are on there. All right, we're out of here.